Have you ever felt a pang of anxiety scrolling through news about climate change or seeing headlines that scream, "We're in the middle of a sixth mass extinction"? The idea is powerful and terrifying, that our cities, farms and industries have pushed the planet to a tipping point. But is it true? Are we really the asteroid of our time? Let's dive into one of the most intense debates in modern science. Earth has seen its share of catastrophes. Over its 4.5 billion year history, life has been nearly wiped out 5 times. These are the Big Five mass extinctions. Think of the Ordovician-Silurian event, a colossal ice age that eliminated 85% of all marine life, or the infamous Great Dying during the Permian-Triassic period, when massive volcanic eruptions in Siberia released so much carbon dioxide that 96% of marine species vanished. And of course, there's the one we all know, the asteroid that ended the age of dinosaurs. All of these were caused by epic natural forces. But today, many scientists argue a sixth extinction is underway, and this time, the culprit is us. But is this an accurate picture, or is the reality more complex? This isn't just an academic squabble. The answer could change how we view our role on this planet. Let's first hear the case for the prosecution. Yes, the crisis is imminent. Scientists on this side argue that what we can see is just the tip of a catastrophic iceberg. Our best tool for tracking endangered species is the IUCN Red List. It's a vital inventory, but it's also incredibly biased. We've assessed nearly all mammals and birds because, let's face it, they're charismatic and relatively easy to study. But mammals and birds are a tiny fraction of life on Earth. The real biodiversity, over 90% of all known animal species, lies in the invertebrates, the insects, the mollusks, the spiders. We've barely scratched the surface in assessing them. Proponents of the sixth extinction theory argue that if we could actually count the millions of rainforest insects lost to deforestation or the freshwater mussels wiped out by pollution, the extinction rates would be terrifyingly high. We would be witnessing a collapse we simply can't document in real time. The canary in the coal mine for this argument is amphibians. Frogs, salamanders and their relatives are perfect biological indicators. Their permeable skin soaks up toxins, and they're extremely sensitive to changes in temperature and humidity. The data here is chilling. Scientists estimate that 1/3 or more of all known amphibian species are at risk of extinction. A fungal disease, spread globally by human activity, is causing what many call an amphibian apocalypse. For these biologists, this isn't just a warning sign, it's a blaring siren. They see it as the beginning of a trophic cascade, a mass extinction starting from the bottom of the food web and working its way up. Now let's hear from the defense. These aren't scientists who deny the problem, but they urge caution and scientific precision. For them, calling this a mass extinction is not just inaccurate, it could actually harm conservation efforts by creating alarmism that leads to apathy. Their argument stands on 2 main pillars: definition and measurement. First, the definition. What actually is a mass extinction? The scientific consensus is the loss of at least 75% of all species in a geologically short time, usually less than 2 million years. If we're being honest with the data we have, we are nowhere near 75%, or 50%, or even 10%. While the extinctions we've caused are devastating, they don't yet reach the cataclysmic scale of the Big Five. But what about the rate of extinction, you might ask? That brings us to the second pillar, measurement. How can we claim an unprecedented rate of loss if we don't even know how many species exist? This is one of the biggest questions in biology. Estimates range from 2 million to a staggering 3 trillion. One popular study suggests about 8 million, but admits that 80% of those have never been discovered or described. If most of life is still theoretical, how can we possibly know how much we're losing? It is like trying to calculate business failures in a city without knowing how many businesses there are to begin with. Plus, extinction itself is a fuzzy concept. Species sometimes reappear decades after being declared extinct, a phenomenon known as the Lazarus effect. The famous Lord Howe Island stick insect was thought to be gone forever after rats invaded its island home in 1920. Then, in 2001, a tiny colony was discovered clinging to a volcanic rock miles away. This uncertainty forces scientists to interpret trends through a fog. The debate also hinges on perspective. A background extinction rate is just an average over millions of years. If you zoom in on a very short timescale, say 100 years, you'll see massive spikes. It's like looking at a single stormy day and concluding the world is ending instead of seeing it as one blip in a decades-long weather pattern. But here's a more profound way to look at it. The tree of life. Losing a species is bad. Losing a genus is far, far worse. Think of species as the leaves on a tree and genera as the branches they grow from. If a leaf falls, the branch is still there, often with other leaves. But if you sever the entire branch, the unique evolutionary history it represents, millions of years of it, is gone forever. The loss of genera is a much stronger signal of a true biodiversity collapse. And this is where the story takes a surprising and even hopeful turn. A recent study did just that. It examined extinctions over the last 500 years at the genus level. They found that while about 900 species have gone extinct, this only translated to the loss of 102 genera. That's less than 0.5% of all recorded genera. But the most shocking finding was this: the rate of both species and genera loss actually peaked about a century ago and has been declining ever since. How is that possible? The answer is simple and powerful. Conservation works. The creation of national parks, whaling bans, habitat protection, and captive breeding programs, all these efforts have had a real, measurable impact. The slowdown in extinction rates is a direct reflection of our actions. So where does this leave us? We are certainly in an extinction crisis. Extinctions are happening far above normal levels, and we are the cause. But calling it a sixth mass extinction might be an overstatement. As one scientist put it, to be sixth, you have to be comparable to the other five, and the data just doesn't show that yet. Using precise language is crucial for science to be credible. But a crisis is still a crisis. The moral urgency is real. The point isn't just whether biodiversity loss will affect us. The point is that these extinctions are a tragedy, and we have a responsibility to prevent them. So, are we on the brink? Maybe. But perhaps that's the wrong question. We're not at dinosaur killer levels, but we are in an unprecedented crisis of our own making. The good news? The story isn't all doom and gloom. The data shows that our actions can make a difference. Human action got us into this mess, but this new research suggests that dedicated science-based conservation is our best hope for the future of life on Earth. Thanks for watching. If you found this dive into the science of extinction interesting, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world around us. See you next time.